Well, Xavier and UC are both out of the NCAA tournament, but that doesn't mean we'll stop watching. The tournament is big fun, but it's also big business. In this morning's U.S. Bank Economic 360, U.S. Bank Vice President and Senior Portfolio Manager Mike Denneman joins Business Watch producer Kelly Leon with some insight on the financial implications of the tournament that many of us are obsessed with this week. Mike and Kelly?
Thanks, Peg. I'm obsessed with it, Mike. Are you obsessed with it?
Absolutely.
My teams have lost, but I'm still obsessed with it.
That's what happens.
I love it. So overall, what's the impact on the economy during this time of year?
Right. So, well, as Peg said, you know, college sports is big business. We hear all the time about mega TV contracts and huge salaries for coaches. But when trying to pin down what exactly the impact of the tournament is to the broader economy, that's a little bit tough. You know, some studies will say that, especially for local economies, it can be a big plus. Other studies will say that actually for the economy, it's a little bit of a drag.
So for the cities hosting the tournament, it must be a huge benefit.
Yeah, sure. It's never a bad thing when the tournament's in your city. So there are 8 cities hosting games this first weekend, and studies estimate that between 10 and 15,000 fans could come to those cities for the 3 days. And so naturally all those visitors are spending money. They're booking hotel rooms, they're renting cars, and of course they're going out, they're eating and they're drinking. So chambers of commerce estimate that between $5 and $10 million in additional revenue just for that one weekend comes into the city. So depending on the city we're talking about, that can have a big impact. So this weekend, cities like San Diego and Orlando are hosting, but they're already big tourist destinations, so the impact might not be that great.
Right.
On the other hand, cities like Buffalo and Spokane, that $5 to $10 million over such a short span can have a real nice boost for the economy.
Nice. Now, the downside would be that all of us are, well, I shouldn't say that. Some of us are watching television, listening to the radio, online during the work hours instead of working. Is that the case?
That is the case, and we hear a lot about studies this time of year about all the lost productivity.
Yeah.
And there's some truth to that. It's estimated that 1 out of 5 workers joins an office pool, and the employment firm Challenger and Christmas put out a study just a couple weeks ago estimating that all of this paying attention to your bracket and your favorite team will cost businesses about $1 billion a day in lost revenue over the first couple days of the tournament. So yeah, that sounds like an enormous number, but we need to take that with a grain of salt. We need to remember that, you know, people these days very adept at multitasking.
Yes.
So maybe you've got your smartphone on your desk or you're paying attention to the scores, but you're also returning emails and you're answering the phone. You know, you are keeping up with the work too. So does productivity suffer? Well, absolutely. But is it this enormous figure that we hear all the time? That's probably a little bit exaggerated.
It's a bonding opportunity for the office, don't you think?
It is. Team building.
Yes, all of us are coming together.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Thanks, Mike. It was fun to talk to you.
Thanks,
and we'll see you next time.
Okay.